Westfield Memorial Hospital provides high-quality health care to residents of Western New York, offering patients the most sophisticated medical advancements while keeping the ease and familiarity of a community hospital. Support for Chautauqua Sunrise has been provided by WRFA 107.9 FM, Jamestown's public radio station, streaming online 24/7 at WRFALP.com. Low power to the people. Meter's Restaurant, a family tradition for over 50 years in downtown Ripley, is a proud supporter of Chautauqua Sunrise. Meter's provides all-day dining, banquet services, and custom catering, specializing in pie. Funding for Chautauqua Sunrise is provided in part by the Chautauqua County Industrial Development Agency, with offices in Jamestown and Dunkirk, helping businesses to prosper throughout Chautauqua County. From supporting people with disabilities to enjoy great lives, to providing health care services that are available to anyone, the Resource Center has been improving our county for more than 60 years. Learn more about how the Resource Center makes a positive difference in people's lives.
Is getting vaccinated on your to-do list? We can help you check it off, because we make getting vaccinated easy. You've got this, because we've got you. To learn more, visit yougotthis.usaging.org.
From the Access Chautauqua Studios in Mayville, it's Chautauqua Sunrise. Chautauqua Sunrise is hosted by Doc Hamels and supported by the award-winning volunteers at Access Chautauqua. We are here to share local news, colorful interviews, and events of interest to everyone. Chautauqua Sunrise is broadcast live Saturday mornings each week from 9 to 10 a.m. Send events via email or call us live. Check us out on YouTube and Facebook. And now, from the Access Chautauqua Studios, it's Chautauqua Sunrise.
Here I am. Good morning, everybody. I'm Doc Hamels, and welcome to Chautauqua Sunrise. I hope you're having a great day. Let's start out with a fog alert. It's pretty thick out there this morning, so if you're going to get out and forget about this show and take off to parts unknown, be very careful. It's really foggy along the lake and out in the backside of the country, out in the hills, okay? I'm sure it's going to live because I'm understanding it's supposed to be a pretty nice day, Justin, from what I'm hearing, so hopefully it'll burn off quick. Anyways, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Let's go through it real quick. Good morning to my relatives and friends in Germany. It's 3 in the afternoon. Natalia and the Ukrainian friends, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And if you are in Australia, it's tomorrow. So, hello tomorrow. Oh, gosh. Good afternoon to all my listeners on WRFA 107.9, Low Power to the People, Tuesdays at 1 o'clock. Thanks for joining in. We got a great show in store for you, as always. And as a reminder, in Chautauqua County, it's sort of like Memorial Day time of the year. It's like Chautauqua County go, boom, it wakes up. Everybody's coming back to their cottages. All of a sudden, there's festivals, and there's live music, and there's art shows, and all kinds of things. And we're going to be talking about this very special musical fundraiser event here later in the show. So please stick around. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you are listening today live, we are going to allow you to make a phone call and talk to myself, my guest, at, here we go, 716-753-5225. Now, if you're shy, as I always tell you, and people do this from time to time, just talk to Randy. He's on the other phone. He's in the other room. He takes the calls, and he'll write down a little message, and somehow it mysteriously happens to come into my hand. I have my little assistant here who comes around the cameras and hands me these things, and we'll get your announcement on the air. And as you know, we did that recently for the Lions Club, and they had a great fundraiser. So we're happy to mention birthdays, anniversaries, whatever. All right, and during the week, if we're... I can't say that on the air. He wants me to call you a studio gnome. Oh, I just did. Anyways, throughout the week, you can email us at chautauquasunrise@gmail.com. Thank you, Jeff. And as you know, I do a lot of announcements, so we'll be happy to get your announcement on the air. It's free of charge. That's what we're here for. Okay. For those of you that follow the video podcast that I'm involved with, which is a different project than Chautauqua Sunrise, Oak Island Plus, with Jim McQuiston, it's going to be shown starting, what is today? Today the 18th?
Yes.
Okay, starting today. I don't even know what day it is. At 12:45 and 6:45 throughout the week. And it seems hard to believe, but we are approaching almost 40,000 views now. And it's really taken off quite nicely. So if you're interested in what that project's all about, it's going to be shown throughout the week. And we're happy to have it for you. Okay, let's see what else I got here. I think I'm just going to get right to my announcements because we have a few that I want to go over with you. All right, Jeff, here we go. Ready? Slide 15. Infinity Visual and Performing Arts, Inc. announced today a grant award totaling, listen to this, $50,000 from the New York State Council on the Arts to support the organization's entrance, reception, safety, renovations project. This grant is part of a capital project funding by this group and totals over $32 million to 102 capital projects across New York State. Infinity sought funding from this group, capital projects, to restructure and renovate their entryway, their reception area, and student waiting room area. The goal is to provide a more secure entry point to further enhance the safety and security for the 1,500 students. Let me say that again, 1,500 students. That's incredible. Ages 3 through 21, who they serve annually, says Shane Hawkins, Infinity's executive director. The anticipated outcome is a welcoming yet secure space, prioritizing the safety of our diverse student community in the heart of downtown Jamestown. If you haven't checked in on Infinity over the years on my show here, they're here every year at Christmas time and put on a very special musical performance for us. And throughout the year, we also sponsor other special shows regarding Infinity. So if you haven't checked out Infinity, you have a son or daughter, granddaughter, grandson, friend, neighbor, whatever, and they're interested in the arts of some way, shape, or form, whether it's artistic with paints and brushes or playing and singing or whatever, comedy, theater, Infinity's got everything for you, okay? So check them out, and if you're interested in more, 664-0991, or go to infinityperformingarts.org, and they'll help you get enrolled. All right, let's move along. So this is one that just came through, and I wasn't even aware of this. It was brought to my attention. Next Saturday, the Chautauqua Town Historical Society is hosting an open house from 1 to 5 p.m. at the Mayville Depot Museum. I didn't even know there was a museum there. 16 Water Street, which is like at the bottom of the hill, the Mayville Hill, over at Mayville Lakeside Park. The museum is open Saturday and Sunday from 1 to 5 during the summer season, and from Memorial Day through Labor Day weekends. Admission's free, and they always accept donations. So what's it all about? Okay, the event will feature the launching of the museum's new touchscreen video display system, a series of 18 short videos, about 10 minutes each, will be shown. They are edited from full videos produced by Chautauqua Town historian Devin Taylor, who's been part of this particular studio for forever. They are edited from full, I already said that part, covering a number of local historical topics. These include a survey of 126 years of historic Mayville, a pictorial tour, Chautauqua County historical markers, the history stored in the Mayville Cemetery, ice and the ice industry, which is very cool, and a selection from John Lunsman's series, Chautauqua Lake Past, Present, and Future, produced by none other than Access Chautauqua, formerly known as Access Channel 5, under the direction of Chuck Kelsey and Chris Burt over the years. Let's see. So they're basically trying to do a fundraiser and help out, to make this thing really cool. So that's coming up this coming weekend. And if you didn't know, the railroad used to come through Mayville in 1866 and started regular service in 1867. Mayville was a major stop on the line that went from Oil City, PA to Brockton, New York. They're linked with the Buffalo to the Erie lines and in turn to the formerly vast North American rail system. Mayville, the county seat, benefited greatly. This new accessibility and transport. It spawned the ice business, stoked tourism, and allowed for furniture and manufacturing. The railroads were huge back then. According to some accounts, by the late 1880s, Lake Chautauqua, with its 20-odd tourist hotels, its fleet of steamships, and its rail links to major eastern cities, became the #1 tourist destination in the United States. Who knew? And there were side trips to Niagara Falls, also included with the Lake Chautauqua package tour. So anyways, if you really like history and you want to find out more about the times where the railroad was involved in Chautauqua County, that's going to be a great opportunity. So check it out this summer. If if your kids want something to do and they're interested, it'd be great fun to do that. I'm the town historian in Ripley, and I know that I've studied the trolley system and the railroad system up and down Lake Erie and all the little branches and so forth, and it's a great history. So anyways, check it out. All right, let's see. I'm going to get lost here in a second, so hang on. Okay. Did that. On to page 4. Okay. STEM Wars. Ever hear that? It's really cool. All right. STEM Wars 2024 launches this Wednesday, coming up in a new location and with an expanded agenda. This year, STEM Wars will feature 2 days of event programming at the Northwest Arena in downtown Jamestown. A new feature of the programming is a career fair and technology expo that will open to the public starting at 3 p.m. and ending at 6 p.m. on the rink. There'll be Rink A, I guess there's 2 rinks there, at the Northwest Arena on May 22nd. This is an opportunity for community members, job seekers, and technology enthusiasts to learn more about products made locally and explore emerging technologies and learn how it is being integrated into today's advanced manufacturing, according to my friend Todd Tranum, who is the Executive Director of the Manufacturers Association and President of what we know today as Dream It, Do It of Western New York. They invite community members to stop in and learn about the manufacturers in our area and career opportunities that they offer, as well as explore the range of products made right here in Chautauqua County and how these companies are leveraging technology in the workplace. So having been in the world of education and technology, this is a great opportunity for you to learn more about what the opportunities are for folks that want to go into the field of technology. And there used to be this idea that if you went into the trades or into the technology that it was whatever and it wasn't for certain people. I'm telling you right now, folks are making $1 million doing this business, and they're great paying jobs. They're even talking about jobs like $98,000 a year. And there are jobs in Chautauqua County. Don't let anybody tell you there aren't any jobs. We had Marc here from the Chautauqua County Industrial Development Agency was explaining not long ago that I forgot how many unfilled positions there are in Chautauqua County. We need people into technologies. We need people in the trades. So please, if you're interested or you have somebody that's in your family that's thinking about going into the technology field, this is a great opportunity. So that's going to be May, where is it again? 22nd over the Northwest Arena. So check it out. And they're going to have other things that go on throughout the year. All right, slide 17. Here we go. This is a new one. Let's pop that up. Chautauqua Youth Symphony, featuring Prelude Strings and Jamestown Suzuki Strings. Okay, they're having their spring gala. When? Today. We'll get to it. Under the direction of Brian Eckenrode. That's today at 4 p.m. at Bush Elementary School over on Pardee Avenue in Jamestown. It's free, partially funded through the generosity of Chautauqua Region Community Foundation, the Lena Foundation, Ralph Sheldon Foundation, Ralph Wilson Jr. Foundation, Guppy's Restaurant and Tavern, and just a bunch of other folks. Just a good time making music together. I got a couple more announcements to go here. It's like 3 more, so this one doesn't have a slide, but I did get a announcement from our friends at Rural Minds. Jeff Whitten was on last week with some friends and the Grange, and they want me to remind you that this is Mental Health Awareness Month, and if you are interested in helping their work with Rural Minds, helping folks that are working in the agriculture area, in the rural areas of Chautauqua County, they have a $5,000 challenge. And if you are interested in donating, go to Rural Minds, all one word, .org, and make a donation. Okay? And now we'll go to slide 16, Jeff. You reminded me I had skipped the whole page here. Okay, let's see what we got here. We Grown Now. Movies at the Reg is the 2023 Toronto International Film Festival winner of the Changemaker Award. In 1992, Chicago, as Michael Jordan solidifies himself as a champion, a story of two young legends in their own right begins. As wide-eyed and imaginative best friends Malik and Eric traverse the city looking to escape the mundaneness of school and the hardships of growing up in public housing, their unbreakable bond is challenged when tragedy shakes their community just as they are learning to fly. We Grown Now is rated PG and it's 93 minutes long. It's going to be shown May 22nd at 7 p.m. Then there's a movie called The Long Game. That's going to be shown Wednesday, the 29th at 7 p.m. It's a beautiful, inspirational true story about 5 young Mexican-American caddies in 1957. Gosh, I was like a little kid. Disallowed from playing on the courses where they caddied, decided to build their own golf course in the South Texas desert, and ultimately won the state championship with the help of their superintendent turned coach. The Long Game is rated PG and 112 minutes long. I haven't heard of that one before. These films will be the last to show at the Reg with its current seats. Remember this, after the upcoming Jamestown Business College graduation ceremony in the theater, the seats will be removed to make way for brand new seats. A June 7 double feature of the summer camp comedies Meatballs and Wet Hot American Summer will be shown with patrons bringing their own camp chairs and blankets as an alternative seating. Well, that's going to be fun. The new seats will be installed this summer and be in place for the Lucille Ball Comedy Festival in August. Remember, tickets are usually $7, $6 for family movies, and they add $1 for restoration fees. Also, keep in mind, you can donate money and get your own seat with your own name on your own seat there. So check it out. You can go to the reglinea.com, find out more about that. Or if you want tickets or more information about the seat donation, give them a call at 716-484-7070, 484-7070. And finally, everyone is invited to Bustye Church of God on Friday, May 31st for a Rural Mobile Medical Unit Health and Wellness Initiative event. Let me say that slower. The Rural Mobile Medical Unit Health and Wellness Initiative event. The event is free to attend. You only need to bring your lunch money. The event will run from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the Bustye Church of God over on Forest Avenue in Bustye. There will be over 40 supporters of our communities, otherwise known as service providers, for folks to visit with PSA blood test for men over age 50 to test for prostate cancer, free retinal eye exams by the Erie Retinal Research, the Chautauqua Center, Veterans Administration, and Fidelis Care will have mobile units on site to assist attendees. Veterans are encouraged to come and visit with all the VA programs that will go on hand for the day. Door prizes, good food that supports a great cause, and the ability to visit with those who support our communities with help, assistance, and information. What a great day this will be for everyone that's going to be there. So again, May 31st, Bustye Church of God from 11 to 6 p.m. If you're interested, give Judy Rhoda, who was just here not long ago, a call at 716-450-3960. Again, 716-450-3960, May 31st, 11 to 6. And they thank you, and I'm going to take a breather. Oh, one more thing. Yes! We put this at the very end. Oh, my really good friends and pals over at Lakeshore Center for the Arts are putting on a special presentation of A.R. Gurney's called Ancestral Voices, a family story. And it's going to be, well, they did it yesterday, but you also have a show tonight at 7 p.m. and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's $20 for tickets. It's live theater, folks. This is awesome. I have been so privileged to be part of the theater troupe there, and the theater is great. It's very close and comfortable, and you feel like you're part of the whole show. So check it out and enjoy the weekend. All right, we're going to have a little PSA for you, so stay tuned. I'll be right back.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with dachshund breeding.
No.
Let me try. Sarah's bright, but when she's reading, she has trouble sounding out words.
Playing world music.
What?
I give up.
Wait, I was trying to show you how Sarah feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
Okay, we're back, and if you just joined us, I'm Doc Hamels. You're watching Chautauqua Sunrise on Spectrum 1301, or we're live off of Facebook, so thanks for joining us. Today I have some folks I've never interviewed before, so this is going to be fun. I get to ask all these private and personal questions that I'm sure they're never going to answer, but we'll do our best. Nancy Rose is joining us today, and
Hi.
Marc Smith, good morning. Nancy, you and I run into each other from time to time. I think we're friends on Facebook, and Marc, I've seen you perform, but I've never met you before, so this is a pleasure. Fellow musicians, and we've got some background, and we're going to get to all that here in a little bit. Nancy, you are what I call a mover and shaker out there. When I see you coming, I have to pull out my wallet. I was eating a fish fry one night at Meters, and the next thing I know, there's Nancy in front of me, and she goes, "Did you get your tickets yet?" I go, "For what?" So,
It's me.
But you are a good soul, and I know you do a lot of good work. But before we get to all that, I want to know more about you. Who are you? Where'd you come from? What do you where'd you work? All that good stuff.
Well, I'm 75 years old, so I'm
You don't have to say that.
jack of all trades, master of none, is what I'm trying to say. Actually, I kind of grew up in Randolph because I'm never going to grow up. It's no fun.
What are you going to do when you grow up? Yeah.
Yeah, really. I've been in radio,
Radio? Which radio?
HUG in Jamestown.
What'd you do there?
I was assistant to Mark Thompson, who was the boss, so to speak, of the FM station.
What
up
does an
there.
assistant at a radio station do?
Assistants do more work than the managers
Absolutely.
and stuff like that, you know. It's like the nurses with the doctors, you know. And I've been around that kind of stuff. I've done benefits like what we're here today to talk about for 45 years.
Woo. Now, with radio, how did you get involved with radio? I mean, it's not like something everybody does every day.
Have you ever heard of Ponderosa Park? It used to be in Ohio. It was a big country western park, camping and stuff like that. I don't know who that is. I don't have mine with me, so.
What is that? What is that bell? Oh, that's fine. But we were hearing chimes here in the
Sound
studio.
like somebody's cell phone.
Ooh, that was weird.
Well, anyways, I went out there to the park we used to go see named stars out there.
Okay.
And their frontliners, they had a couple guys that were just phenomenal. And I called the radio station to see if they could promote them in our area.
Okay.
One thing led to another. Next thing I knew, I was working.
So how long were you with the radios?
About 15 years with Mark, and then a little short period that I can't even think of the name of the station now, was out by Kilbuck.
Okay, over in Allegheny County.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And I've just always been around bands and, you know, stuff like that since I was 30, so.
Well, you see with Mark Thompson, and you must have been involved when I mentioned that he used to have those country showcases over at Bemis Point.
Yes.
And we played the casino, my band Vegas, back in mid-'80s or early '80s or something like that.
Yeah.
That was fun. I mean, I remember, I digress for a moment, but I remember we used to do Johnny Be Good, which is no big deal, but the way I did Johnny Be Good.
Everybody does Johnny
The way
Be
I
Good.
did Johnny Be Good was totally different. And we would play it for like 20 minutes nonstop. And I watched these people, they were just drenched, but they were loving it, and they just loved to dance, and we had a great time. So anyways, I remember those years, good years. Okay, so then you got Marc Smith with you. Well, how'd you get him here, and what's going on?
I was playing a festival with last year with Nancy the first time I had met her. I don't know why, because I heard her on the radio as a kid growing up and stuff, but we never crossed paths, and
We clicked.
yeah, we just became fast friends, and she's interested, I'm interested in stuff that she's been doing most of her life, so I just kind of tagged along and trying to learn as much as I can from her.
You were on the radio, like the announcer?
Yeah.
Yeah, she used to,
DJ Nancy D.
yep.
Oh, I did not know that.
See?
So here you're, well, I live in Ripley. We don't pick up WJT out there unless I get like on top of my roof or something.
Yeah.
Well, so you probably sit here laughing at me the whole time I was doing my announcements.
No, you did. You did a good job.
Oh, thank you.
I'll tell you later.
I used to tell people, I got a lot of announcements. I'm going to talk fast. You listen quicker. You know, I want to get through these. But yeah, Marc, I saw you last year. It was last year, I think, at Meters, right?
Yeah.
And you're with the Smith Brothers, I
Yes.
think it was called. And
Yes.
you guys have a lot of guys in your group, if I remember right.
We got 5 now. Yeah. And fiddle
Nowadays,
player
5
now.
is a lot.
Yeah, that's
to keep a band going.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll bounce around a little bit. So, Nancy, are you a musician at all?
I can't even play the radio.
But you can talk.
Yeah.
But you know, there's all parts of the industries, just like here. I mean, you got the techs and engineers, and everybody has their role. So, you know, some of us are up front, some of us are in the back. So that's good.
Yeah.
And then, Marc, you and I talked. It sounds like we play similar instruments. I don't play bass. My brother was the bass player in the band. How'd you get involved with music? How long have you been playing?
When I was a kid, my uncle played guitar, but he was in the service, so I only got to see him like once every couple of years. He'd come home with his guitar, and I just wanted to be able to do that.
So how long have you been playing?
I started probably when I was 14 or so, and I'm a lot older than that now, so it's over 40 years I've been playing.
Right.
And that's what I do. I play music.
So, is that what you do for a living, or do you do other things?
Most of my life, that's what I did. Now the jobs are far and few between. I'm retired now, but I still play music. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
But was music your full-time job, or?
Most of my life, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Yeah.
unbelievable because.
Yeah, I didn't have a lot of bills to pay, so I was very humble.
Okay.
But yeah, I did a little, part-time jobs in the healthcare and all that stuff. But most of the time, it was music.
Because lots of people can't make a living in Chautauqua County.
No.
It's a great place to play,
Yeah.
but we are what we are, and a lot of us are weekend warriors. I used to call us.
I played a lot of gigs in Pennsylvania.
Okay, so what bands did you play with before the Smith Brothers? See if I know any of them.
Probably, I used to play with Robin Bailey in San Antonio Rose. I don't know if you remember her from back.
I remember Robin Bailey. Sure.
And I played a lot of music with Warren Cisco, and he plays all the time. And it's funny because so many people don't really know him by name, they just know the guitar player from this band or that band. But like I said, we did a lot of gigs down in Pennsylvania. They seemed to really like what we were doing down there. But it's Chautauqua County is hard to keep busy with it as far as there's so much talent here. So much talent.
It's just bursting.
And people are just wanting to play any place that will take music, So you kind of just pick up whatever isn't being taken already,
Yeah, it's very competitive, and as you say, we're fortunate. We're blessed to have so many musicians. I mean, over the years that I've been a musician, I've been in 14 different groups.
Right.
And people say, "How come you can't keep a job?" No, that's the nature of music. You come and go, you reform, you do the whatever.
Yep.
And so what was your style of music?
I played country a lot of times. I played bluegrass for 8 years in a band called the Bluegrass Hoppers, and I love that too. I absolutely love bluegrass music. That's where my heart's at, and that's what I'm doing now. But I played a lot of country music, a little bit of blues, a little southern rock,
I played in Celtic duos for a number of years, and Celtic music really is the route to bluegrass.
Oh, absolutely.
The Scots-Irish when they came down with their stills and moonshine and everything else.
Yeah.
I never had realized it until I actually got deep into the Celtic music, and then realizing, wow, I'm playing almost bluegrass, but I'm not really a bluegrass player. But I do appreciate you for what you do, because I can never figure out how fast those mandolin players can play.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
I used to get this challenge. You must know Adam McKillop.
Oh yeah, I know Adam.
He came up to me one day and we were at the Big Inland. He says, "You want to have a mandolin duel?" I said, "No." I play a mandolin the way I learned it myself. Was never taught.
Right.
And I'm watching him going, I can't do that.
Yeah, Adam's a great guy. Adam used to come watch me play when he was just a teenager.
Oh, I remember. He used to go to open mics. I remember when he was still in high school. Yeah.
He would just sit there and never say a word.
Yep. And now it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, super. So, let's see. Let's talk about festivals. So, when you say a festival, what do you mean by a festival?
They're great. Most of the time, my festivals are fundraisers. Okay, and that's an important thing. It really is, because there's so many different organizations and things that need the assistance. So what I do is I just get this idea in my head, which is scary sometimes. And, you hush. And I know a lot of musicians, and the musicians are always willing to help somebody in need.
Oh, yeah.
And so we put a bunch of them together and get somebody to help us with the food and the sound and blah, 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 and just put it together somewhere wherever people will let us do it. And we always work with a zero pocketbook, so.
When you say festival, I used to think that I played more freebies than I did paid jobs years ago. But that's the nature of musicians, right?
is,
I mean,
it
we are happy to play whenever we can. There comes a time where you need to get paid, like Marc knows, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But they're just a group of people that
They care.
you say, I need some musicians to work, and they show up. You contacted me and said, can your band come do this festival? It's a bluegrass. And I said, we're not a bluegrass band.
Right.
Had we been the kind of band you were looking for, probably, yeah. So, yeah. So people might say, well, I don't even know what a festival is. What do I got to do? So let's just say right now someone's listening and you got a festival coming up that we're going to promote here in a minute. So what do they do? Do they pay admission?
No, it's
How's
free,
it work?
always free admission at mine, always free admission. And we go in and you just mingle with other people that are there. There is camping available 90% of the time at these things. Talk with the musicians, request songs. We have, for this particular one we're going to be talking about, we have 9 bands hooked up.
Woo.
And it's different people, different. Once you meet them, you just can't walk away from them. I mean, you get to love some of them, you'll follow them. There's always a few that, but
It is what it is. Yeah.
it is, yeah. And it's just a wonderful time. Food, beer, usually available somewhere.
So a festival.
Prizes.
So a festival is like an open event. Where
Drawings,
you
yes.
So you got to bring your own chairs, blankets. How's that work?
Yeah, it's best if you bring your own chairs. There's always some, but we hope there's never enough.
Right.
And lot of raffles.
Like what?
Oh, well, I'm going to bring up a good one that we've got coming up this next weekend.
All right.
I have a bunch of Amish friends, and I have an Amish quilt, handmade Amish quilt, that's all Buffalo Bills.
If you ever, folks, have ever went to an Amish outlet and you priced a quilt, we're talking somewhere north of $500 lots of times for their big ones, right?
yes.
I mean, this is a lot of work.
And it's Buffalo Bills.
It's all,
And in this
all
community,
handmade, all hand sewn. I mean,
It's beautiful.
they don't have electric sewing machines. You know what I mean?
Well, they all sit around like in a big area.
and
there.
it takes them sometimes months to make just a quilt.
It's
you know?
art. It's
Yeah.
art form.
And the
of
only
itself.
thing bigger than that we've got for this one is $1,000 cash giveaway.
What?
Yep.
$1,000? All right, we're going to get to all the details and all this here in a little bit. So let's talk about the festivals that you have done. I mean, tell me a little bit about some of them you've done.
Well, geez.
Well, the top few that come to mind that you say, wow, that was really cool, or something special.
Cold
Well, we've
Springs.
done them for fire departments, and
Cold Springs is how long now? 17 years, 16 years?
yeah, I've been doing that. When Marc's going to take them over for me
Yeah.
now, I'm going to help him, but,
Yeah.
the one we had at Cold Springs when I first started it out was, I called it the musicians benefit, because nobody got paid. We did the same thing, raffles and things. The monies that we brought in went to fellow musicians in time of dire need.
Yeah.
If they were in the hospital in bad shape, we couldn't give them a lot because we didn't take in a lot.
Right.
But if I could give you $100, you get a tank of gas and food and be able to get to see them and, or something like that. And that's been my major factor the whole time, is helping people like that. I've done it for different organizations and things
What
like
other
that.
organizations?
Red Cross
Okay.
for fund drives, or blood drives and things like that.
Whoa. You do a festival for a blood drive?
Yeah.
So how's that work?
Well, we just set it up with some bands and stuff and advertised that Marc was going to be there, so to speak. And while you're there, you might as well donate blood and have fun. And
So in one arm you're giving blood, and the other you're drinking a beer.
motorcycle clubs,
Uh-huh.
the rides, what do they call them when they go on a ride?
Polka runs.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Things like
Lots
that.
of my friends will do that sort of thing.
It's just phenomenal.
right.
This one's going to be my biggest.
All right, so the Red Cross, musicians, who else?
Motorcycle clubs.
So you raise money for motorcycle clubs, or the motorcycle clubs are raising money?
The motorcycle club is raising the money, but I'm assisting them
Okay, and
with the bands
who do
and
they
things
benefit?
like that. Oh, goodness. People in need, you know. I've done a lot of personal benefits, you know, like
Oh, somebody needing medical issues? or
yes,
something like
yes, things like that.
Wow, well, you
Or
are
somebody that
super.
has heart problems, cancer, and it's hard, you know. You've lost your house because the bills are so high, so to speak, and
Wow.
we just raise money to help people like that out.
You know, I know you're a special woman, but you really are special. I mean,
Well, I don't look
seriously.
at it that way. That's just what I
Well,
really love to do.
I do, because doing what I do and the things I'm involved with, what you're talking about is a lot of work.
It
But it's
is.
for good causes, and you're not getting anything out of it, right?
Yes, I am.
What are you getting?
The satisfaction I can still do it.
Yeah, yeah. You know, and it's a good feeling. You know, when you
It
get
is.
done with something like that, and you see that maybe that little girl got something, or that family got or whatever, or you know that whatever you talked about is working, and it's just that satisfaction, like you say.
As far as I'm concerned,
Yeah.
that's the way we survive here, is by helping each other out. Most of us wouldn't even make it through a month or so without our volunteer fire departments.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I do. Trust me,
Like
I
they're
do.
just always there at the, you call them and they show up.
Yeah.
And that's all volunteer too. And this is just another branch of that kind of community service where if you need help, you just call somebody that knows how to do it and they get it done for you.
You know, I don't know how many folks I've had on this show that have been around this topic, but I asked them the same question. We agree on the same thing. Chautauqua County is a generous community.
Yes, they are.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, you put out help, and the next thing you know, you got like 10, 20 people say, I'll show up, I'll help.
Yeah.
And
Because we've all needed it at one time or another,
Yeah.
or know somebody that has needed it.
Right.
You know?
I grew up in a different county when I was a kid. It was okay. But it was a metropolitan area. Coming to Chautauqua County, I tried to explain to my parents, everybody eventually knows everybody at some point. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not like we're in your business, but you know, just talking with you're telling me about musicians that I've known over the years, or I
Right.
played with, or
Right.
came in after I played on stage and they came in or before or whatever. So I mean, we're all connected, and just time and time again. We have volunteers, but I'm going to put a plug out there right now for folks that are listening. If you got time in your hands, if you're a person that maybe you're kind of looking for something to do, volunteer.
Absolutely.
There's so many different places you can volunteer.
But volunteering has sort of been dropped off, especially after the pandemic, right? And so we need to get people back into thinking of showing up for projects. Say, yeah, I'll chip in a few bucks, or I'll show up and, like for instance, my Rotary Club, we just did a beach cleanup. You don't have to do that. You can say, well, that's somebody else's problem. Well, if we don't do it, who's going to do it?
Right.
And what I'm hearing from you is if you don't do it, who's going to do it?
Right.
Wow, Mark, passing of the baton.
The thing about volunteering too is we can always find something for you to do.
Oh, I'll put you to work.
If you have handicaps of some kind that our friend Warren right now, he's kind of disabled. He had his leg taken and so he's not able to walk around, but I told him, you show up and we'll give you something to do, even if it's writing down addresses or names.
Welcoming people to the festival.
There's
or
always something you can
giving
do.
directions or
And-
pamphlets.
But you can't count on Warren because he knows too many people.
Yeah, he ends up in a long conversation somewhere. But yeah, I
Love
mean,
that
young
man.
or old, it doesn't matter. If you want to help us, we will take the help and we will appreciate it, and you'll be glad to be a part of that family and community. And
Meters is having a benefit also.
yeah,
Theirs is the 15th of June.
Yeah.
And Marc is doing
and
that one.
Well, all right.
but
I'll tell you what. We're going to talk about the one that coming up here in a second, but we'll circle back to the 15th. How's that? All right. So we can say something more, Mark. I'm sorry. Did I cut you off?
no, I was just going to say the volunteers are definitely always appreciated and needed. And please, if you want to help, reach out. and
And
get a hold of
we
us.
need the next generation to step in too, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
And people say, well, I got blah, 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 blah. Well, blah, 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 blah.
So do I.
So do I. And, you know, the old adage, if you want something done, ask a busy person. You know, so, you know, that's what we all do, you know. So let's get to the reason why you're here today, and that is you have this great fundraiser coming up this coming weekend. So first of all, Jeff, let's pop up the poster, and then we're going to show you a revised poster. Okay, so let's talk about in-depth what people can see and do. Okay, so Nancy, you get started.
I get to start?
Yeah.
Okay, I come up last September with the idea of having a fundraiser for the Shriners Hospital in Erie, Pennsylvania. People say, why go into Pennsylvania? Because they're kids. I don't care where they live, they're kids.
Yeah.
And it's going to be held at what I call Dunkirk Fairgrounds. The real name is Chautauqua County Fairgrounds in Dunkirk.
Whatever you call it, that's what it's going to be.
It's going to be Friday and Saturday, May 24th and 25th.
So a week from this weekend.
Yes, and I'm not going further than that because I'm too patriotic. I can't get into that.
Okay.
There's going to be a lot of raffles, giving away $1,000 cash,
Right.
which I already mentioned. Skip Lamphere is doing our sound. You got the name of the bands there in front of you.
Yeah,
Mark.
let's
You
hear
wanna
them.
lift
Take your
them
time,
up?
no hurry.
Can you
Want me to
can
read
you
them?
read? I don't know if you can read them off of that or not.
Okay.
It's pretty small.
Yeah, Paul Zittle and Pure Country.
Okay.
Most people around here know Pat Cook.
Yes, I very much do. I just saw her not long ago.
She's going to do her Patsy Cline show for us.
Awesome.
The Smith Brothers.
Excellent.
And anybody from around this area has heard of the Lampheres.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be returning. Holly Abers.
Okay.
A couple of guys that I kind of relate them to Homer and Jethro back in the day. Scroggins, their name is.
Okay, I've heard of them.
Excuse me. Pete Bogart and friends. They're from over around Ellicottville.
All right.
And the Smith Brothers have got 2 sets they're going to do. One set is going to be bluegrass. The other is going to be old-time country.
All right.
And then we've got Old Dog Bluegrass.
Oh, yeah, Mark and Steve. I
Yep,
know them.
yep.
We used to
And-
trade places on stage years ago. Yep, I know them well. Oh, they're really fun.
They're going to get 2 sets also because they're going to do Davis and Ing
I think
also.
Lampheres are playing 2 sets too, aren't they?
Yeah,
Okay,
Lampheres
super.
are too. Lampheres have been around this area forever and ever and ever.
Right. All right,
know,
so it's at the fairgrounds.
Yes.
So you'll just come in. Is there parking? Do you think I pay
Oh,
for?
yes, there's parking. There's handicap parking.
Okay.
And to park in the handicap area, I'm going to be nasty. You either have a tag or a license, or please don't be there.
Well, that's the rules.
You
right?
know, because they're the people.
So is this, they have to pay for parking?
No.
Oh, free.
Free parking.
So there's no reason you can't go so far. So free so far.
Right.
All right.
And we even have, I don't know if you can get a close up of that,
All right.
what we're calling our little poster
All
child.
right, keep her there. Keep
This
her there.
is Kinsey.
Kinsey.
She was going to try to come with us today, but her family is in Pennsylvania with their family camping for this weekend.
All right.
So she couldn't make
What
it.
a cutie. So
And
what-
I met her at Meters.
Okay.
I was selling tickets like
All
you
right.
were just
Oh,
talking about a
yes.
few minutes ago. And she was sitting there, and when I walked up to the table, I went through my spiel. These are for the $1,000 drawing, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
That little girl, as soon as I said Shriners Hospital, jumped right up and stood in her booth. And she said, "That's my hospital."
She owns the hospital now.
And she held up her little hand, and she's a burn patient. And I fell in love with her right there. You
Yeah.
know? And I asked the parents if she could please be our poster child, and
cool.
they agreed to it. So you're a little sweetie.
Well, let's talk about Shriners a little bit. What is Shriners Hospital? I mean, who are the Shriners?
The Shriners are, I don't know the ins and outs about them. I started talking to the potentate and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I know you have to be a certain degree of Mason
Yes.
to be a
You
Shriner.
have to be a 3rd degree.
Is that it?
And then you go into Shriners. I'm a Mason.
And I also didn't know there was lady Shriners.
Eastern
Yeah.
Stars.
Is that what they call?
Well, I
No.
don't know about the Shriners end of it, but the Eastern Stars is the
Mason
the
aspect.
female version of the Masons, yeah.
Well, the only reason I know that is because last night, I got a text from the potentate out by Buffalo.
Right.
And he said that he gave me the name, but I don't remember what it was. Lady Shriners are donating $600 to our
Wow.
our
Do you have a
case.
goal?
10,000.
Oh, that's no big deal.
And my my cohort person I love with all my heart, Dr. Askar, he's from Dunkirk.
Oh, I know him.
He handed me $1,000 check last week.
Oh, wow.
almost stood there and cried. And just now people are really beginning to send.
Yeah.
And we really need it. They wait till the last minute in this area. They always have. Yeah. And it's really just wonderful. I've got so many things. I've got, like I mentioned, the quilt already. I've got Buffalo Bills jersey from Milano. The Shriners are so involved because Mike, I can't remember his last name right now, he's the potentate from out around Buffalo.
Right, he's sort of like the head of the lodge area here.
Yeah, he's met with us. We had lunch with him, and he's telling me the Shriners are going to be involved from Pittsburgh to Rochester, and he even sent a letter to Niagara Falls, Canada.
Well, you
Lodge.
know, people that might say, oh, Shriners, they're the guys that show up at all the parades in those little
Yeah,
motorcycles.
that's the way it
With the
was.
fences. But they're in the Masonic order, okay?
Right.
You got your, what they call the Blue Lodges, which are the first 3 degrees, then you have the Shriners, they have other degrees, and they're a different branch of the Masons, but everybody works together.
Right,
And I know the Shriners Hospital has been around a long time.
Yes,
And the thing that
65 years.
the people got to remember, people from Chautauqua County go to Shriners.
Oh, yeah.
I've known a million people have taken their kids there, and adults go there too.
Yes.
The adults are more upstairs in the hospital.
for nose and
Right,
other things,
right,
and
yes.
ENT and stuff like that. So it's a beautiful asset to Chautauqua County.
And they're so wonderful down there.
I've been there.
People
Not for me,
are
but other
beautiful.
people. Yeah.
Yeah, the people are just
That's what I said
beautiful.
when we started this. If you haven't had any personal relationship with that hospital, you know somebody that has. You know, that's their cousin or niece or uncle or whatever. You know, and we're lucky to have it so close to us. There's not a lot of Shriners. There's only, what, 9 in the country?
Yeah, something like that. And the closest one to us is 350 miles.
And yeah, so we're lucky to have it so close to us, and so everybody in this area utilizes that if they need to, which is,
Right.
you know.
The question just came through, what do Shriners do? So I think do a lot of fundraising.
Fundraisers,
You know,
yeah.
they're really into the community and
Children.
Yeah, I think most of your organizations, whether it's Rotary, Shriners, Masons, the Lions Club, they have some key things that they want to focus on. And I know Shriners is big time with children,
Right.
orthopedics, and children that are born with a certain disability or lacking a limb or what. I mean, we see these on TV quite often for the
Right,
Shriners
right.
Hospital and so forth.
Everybody
I know they
loves
treat
those
a lot
little
of,
boys.
of burns too. I mean, this facility here in this area, I don't think is specialized in burns, but they can at least do.
I think they get them down to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and then they transform. But it's a lot of children that have been burnt in house fires or accidents, you know, of any kind in this area. That's where they're going to go. You know, and when I met with Shriners, me and Nancy went out there. They said, you know, many times families will come in with their children and they're like, we don't have insurance, we don't have, you know, and they're just like, it's all taken care of. You don't ever have to worry about money here, you know, about paying a bill. We'll take care of it, you know.
You know, sometimes I get this attitude, and I know this might sound a little rough, but then people say, well, I don't have kids anymore. Why should I worry about this? Well, your neighbor, your grandchildren, your nieces and nephews.
Absolutely.
I mean, and somebody was doing it for you when you had your kids.
Exactly.
You know, like school taxes. They say, why should I pay taxes? Well, somebody paid for your kids to go to school. Now it's your turn.
Right.
You know, just keep
Right.
it going. It's a
Exactly.
cycle of life, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah. Oh, good stuff.
Yep.
Now, Kins's mom, that Kinsley, she likes to be called Kins, her mom has told me she has to go to Cincinnati because that's the burn center for the Shriners. And she has to go every year and a half till she gets old enough for grafting and stuff. And they'll call her and say, be here this date. They'll pay for her flight. They'll pay for the motels. They pay for all the food. They pay for all of her treatments, blah, 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 blah. One time she went out there and they had to cancel and move her appointment to a later date. They packed the family and kids in the car, took them to the zoo, just treated them like royalty, and then not a penny was spent by the family. So
You think about the stressors of healthcare,
Right.
for especially a child. You just heard me talking about rural health and things like that, mental health. I mean, great place to live in Chautauqua County, but we don't always have all the services that we need.
Right.
So Shriners, what a gift. And to hear all that they do to support families, you know, it's tough enough to raise kids just normally, but to have medical bills and that, you know, and we all have children, great-grandchildren, great-great-great-grandchildren, and all and nieces and nephews. So, you know, every once in a while, we do need a little extra help.
Well, right here in Erie, I just picked this little brochure up yesterday.
Sure.
It says commonly treated conditions, and this is in Erie
All right, let's
itself.
take our time with it. Sure.
Clubfoot,
Yep.
congenital dislocated hips.
Okay, clubfoot. Let's talk a little bit about clubfoot. A clubfoot is where it turns in, or there's perhaps a limb, or the feet are just not connected correctly, or a deformity.
Right,
okay?
right.
What was the second one?
Congenital dislocated hips.
Oh, so problems walking,
Right,
or whatever,
right.
getting around.
Fractures,
Ooh,
hand deformities,
yeah.
hip disorders, limb deficiencies.
And this is in Erie?
Yes. Limb length differences, something
Okay.
we wouldn't even think of.
Well, lots of times you'll see commercials where there's a child that one of the arms is very short and the other one's long. It's a birth defect, you know, so we've got to deal with that somehow.
Yeah. Metabolic bone diseases.
Oh boy, yeah.
Neuromuscular disorders. Orthopedic issues related to cerebral palsy.
Yeah, yeah.
Scoliosis and spine deformities.
Okay.
Skeletal growth abnormities. Spina bifida. Sports injuries. And what's that? That's one of them 90-cent words.
I don't know.
Well, they take care of that.
That's awesome.
I know most of those terms, but that was way too long.
Wow.
Wow, that's a long one. I don't know.
It
that
is.
one.
We have to look that up on Google.
Goo goo.
Oh, we just got a question that just came in. Ages, I think, any age, right?
I believe it's 18. Yeah, I believe it's up to
That's the
18.
children's, and then
Yeah.
as far as the adults, you can be referred to their services, but that comes through insurances and things of this
Right.
nature, I believe.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I didn't really realize they did adults. I thought all the adult patients that were out there went to the doctors upstairs, which are not
Oh.
Shriners. I
Oh,
could be wrong.
You may be right, because I went to Shriners with one of the family members, but that may have been the case. It was just they were housed there. And they
Because
weren't
I
part-
think the Shriners is children, 18
Oh,
and
gotcha,
below.
gotcha. I hadn't thought of that before. Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, they rent offices
They
upstairs.
coexist together.
Yeah.
All right, so once again, this is a festival coming up this coming weekend, not today.
Right.
But next week.
Friday and Saturday
Friday and
night.
Saturday in Dunkirk. All right, so what are the times? I don't think we talked about time.
Band start on Friday at 5 o'clock and go until 10,
Okay.
maybe later.
Yeah, yeah.
And on Saturday, the band start at 1
And then till,
till.
okay. And if anybody's ever been to a festival, these guys hang around, and the next thing you know, part of A group is playing with B group, and then C group jumps in on the drums or whatever, and then you got all these jams and things like
Yeah,
that.
and after hours, it's everybody gets together and jams.
yeah.
And 4 o'clock in the morning, they could still be.
Provided they don't have gigs, so that was always a problem.
Yeah.
You know, I say I do the gig, but I gotta come in and go out.
Right.
Now, this is a question too, is like, what are the setups for the bands? Do they have to bring their own equipment, or how's that work?
Bring their own instruments. Skip Lamphere, I don't know if you know him or not.
I don't know him, yeah.
He is doing the sound, and he is wonderful.
Okay.
And all they need to do is bring their guitars. He's got everything.
Because that was always a big issue, your equipment.
That takes me back to, I don't know what we were talking about. Oh, playing for free and volunteering. I always said, I'll play for free anytime. You pay me to bring in my sound equipment and set that up and tear it down at night.
Yeah.
So these festivals, another reason why our musicians are so eager and ready to play is because we don't have to do any of that. That sound system has already been set up for us. So we get to play. That's the fun part.
Yeah.
You know, and we don't have to tear down at the end of the night and stuff. So it's an honor to play sometimes without having to set up your PA. But Skip is going to provide not only the PA sound-wise, but he'll have a bass amp there, so because the bass amp is usually a little bit bigger than guitar amps and stuff, so one on stage, and that everybody can use that. And we'll also have a drum kit set up, so when other drummers come in, they don't have to carry 15-piece drum kit in. It'll just be there, and they can just sit down and play the drums.
People always used to say, well, it must be fun to be a musician. I go, sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you're hauling equipment up and down stairs in elevators or
Oh
whatever.
boy, yeah, 3 stories sometimes. I've carried amplifiers up 3 stories.
I played in a duo. Do you know Will Russell at all?
No,
He plays with Sixpence right now. Anyways, we played a gig. I won't tell you where it was, but it was outside, up on a deck, and we had to carry all our equipment up these very steep stairs.
Yep.
And we didn't have that much equipment. By the time I got done, I was waiting for oxygen and somebody to get a AED to put on my chest. I was, my heart's going to stop here.
You find out real quick how much stuff you don't need.
Yeah. But people. I hope people are listening right now really appreciate the fact that musicians work hard for what little money they get. And you don't realize that most of the time there's not a lot of money in this, but they still do it because they just love music. You can't help it.
We have a mutual friend, and what she always says is, everybody always talks about, you don't get paid for the gig and this and this and this. And she says, hence the name of our band, Empty Pockets.
What is an old saying? What does it go? I have a $5,000 vehicle. I put $400 worth of gas in there. I got all this equipment for $50 a night.
Yep.
And I used to think, that can't be right. That's what I was getting, 30 years ago. It's still about this.
Yeah, musicians have not gotten a pay raise in 40 years.
Yeah, it's crazy. But
One thing we've neglected to bring up is, please bring your own chairs, just in case.
Okay.
And there is camping available.
Okay, so
with
how's the
hookups.
camping work?
You need to call this telephone number. I'll give it to you in a minute, because they have different amperages.
Okay.
And they want to make sure that you get the amperage you need for your camper.
I don't know anything about it, but you go ahead.
I don't either. And but the telephone number is 716-366-4752.
Okay, that's for the campers.
To make like a reservation, just to make sure that you get what you need.
Okay, we have a caller. Good morning, caller. Hello? Caller?
Hello.
Hello, woo!
Hey, my friend Ricky Mascaro here.
Oh, hi, Rick.
How are you?
I'm fine. What's up?
I just wanted to call in and thank Nancy for the wonderful job that she has done. But I also wanted to let her know that her help for people goes a step further. She has somebody working for her that has learned so much and has grown so much because of her leadership and help in this project. And you know him too, Shaggy Roosh.
Oh, Shaggy.
Yes, we need to mention him.
Outstanding help to her.
Uh-huh, all right.
He has been phenomenal.
I know Shaggy. I knew when he was in school.
That kid knows everybody.
Yeah.
We brought him down there to Jamestown, and he walked into a place, and he came back out smiling. He was like, I knew those guys.
Hey, Rick, thanks for the call in. We only got a minute and a half left, so we got to keep moving here, okay?
Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Nancy.
Thanks
You're
for calling
welcome. He is really.
I know Shaggy. Okay, real quick, June 15th. Tell us about that festival.
That's at Meters, and that's just a all-day Saturday event. And I think there's 5 bands playing. Bluegrass, mostly.
In front of the school again?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. Bring a lawn chair. There's a chicken barbecue dinner.
And the
oh my
fundraiser's
God,
for what?
Do you know?
Cold Forge. It's a drug and alcohol rehab place.
Okay, very good. I know of it. Okay.
Yeah.
And so, Nancy, I'm giving you last words here. Run down the festival for this coming weekend.
Okay, it's May 24th and 25th, which is next week, Friday and Saturday.
Okay.
The bands start on Friday at 5 o'clock, and on Saturday at 1 o'clock, there's all kinds of raffles, $1,000 giveaway, bring your own chair, camping available. What'd you say, Mark?
50-50s.
Yeah, 50-50s. We're going to have 50-50s, and it is all to benefit the Shriners Hospital in Erie for children.
Can people bring their own food?
They can, yeah,
Have
if they
make it a
want
picnic,
to. Sure,
right?
sure.
And
yeah,
kids
they
are
can.
allowed to come, right?
And if anybody would like to donate or send a check, please send it directly to the hospital in Erie. I'd
Well,
appreciate
I
that.
can't do it because I'm not going to be around, so I'm going to give you a check on behalf of the group here.
Oh my God, thank you so
It's
much.
not $1,000, but it's a little bit.
Hey, that's great. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So, folks, you got lots of things coming up. Stay tuned. Look at the news. Watch the show over again. we got to get going because we're running out of time. So Nancy and Mark, congratulations on the great work you're doing, and don't be strangers to us, okay?
Okay.
Let us know what's going on. Doc Hamels, you've been watching Chautauqua Sunrise. Have a great weekend. It's supposed to get kind of nice. And go check out these festivals that are happening this summer. It's lots of fun. Take care, and we'll see y'all next time. Thank you. Bye-bye. How do we do?
Good.